Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/thenerdcore. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hello, nerds. You're listening to an episode on the Nerdcore podcast feed. If you're feeling generous, please consider pledging to a tier on our Patreon at patreon.com/thenerdcore. We have tiers as low as $1 per month. Thanks so much, and enjoy the episode.
Hey everyone, before we can get into today's episode, I need to talk to you all about Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast and is the platform I've been using for over 2 years. Anchor is easy because it's free, includes creation tools on your tablet or phone from the get-go, rewards creators with sponsorships with no minimum listenership, and best of all, they distribute your podcast to places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and many more. So if you want to make a podcast, you should download the Anchor app or visit anchor.fm. Now let's get into today's episode.
We're live.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
You're listening to the Nerd Chicano podcast. The Nerd Chicano show presented by the Nerd Corps on all platforms where podcasts can be found. As always, this is your host, Nerd Chicano himself, Raul Alejandro Mendoza.
And the other
Latin lover,
Luis Gerardo Garcia. How's everyone doing today?
How's everyone doing today? Very good. Luis, we went to go see a movie today, right?
Yes, sir. Mr. Denzel Washington's movie.
Yeah, Denzel. In front of us, somebody's helping us out with producing, so I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to Rudy. Our friend Rudy has no expertise at all in producing at all, and he's doing it without even knowing that he's producing an episode.
He's our first intern. He's the first ever Nerd Corps intern. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this week, it's this new episode for you all. We're really, really, really happy of how this episodes have been doing. I think we got 10 listens on the last one.
10?
Yeah, so we're doing pretty good.
Let's make it 50,000. How about that? Do you think that's a reasonable number?
I think that's really reasonable. Guys, if you guys can get us to at least over 10 on this episode, that'd be great too.
No, dude. Let's make a good goal. Like, I don't know, like 100 listens or something.
God damn, no. The only one that has over 100 is the first episode. The first podcast episode.
Oh, it is good?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, cool.
Yeah. So, by the way, guys, if you do want to get this show early, you can subscribe to our $1 tier on Patreon, and you get this show and the Gamer Core a day early. But that's only if you go to www.patreon.com/thenerdcorps and pledge to the $1 a month tier, and you get that nice stuff with you. You get to hear our very sexy voices a day early. A day early before anybody else gets
early.
it.
Wow.
Yes, a day early.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. No, we are not.
Owen Wilson's accent. Oh, wow.
So before we do the review, Luis wanted to talk about a little YouTube channel. He kind of.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
Recently, I started watching this YouTube channel, and by like recently I mean like in the last 3 days, and I binge watched maybe over like 2 or 3 hours of footage that they posted. Mm-hmm. But it's this channel, and their name is Yes Theory.
Yes, sir.
So essentially, what they are is a group of like 3 friends. Well, it started off with 4 friends, but one of the guys had some issues with immigrations and stuff because he was from Turkey or something, so he had to move away. But for right now, it's 3 people, and essentially, what they do is that they live their best life. They will say their motto is saying yes to everything, doing everything that they possibly can, living their life like if tomorrow was the last day. And essentially their channel is just about just saying yes to things and doing different challenges and speaking to strangers. And one of the quotes that they like to say, well, I don't know if they invented it or they got it from somewhere, but they like to say is that there are no such things as strangers rather than people that you haven't met yet or friends you haven't met yet. And I think that's one of the most beautiful, genuine quotes that, like, it's true. Like, people aren't strangers. I mean, even though we have different cultures and, you know, different styles that we all approach life at the end, we all want the same thing. You know, we want love, we want compassion, we want kindness from one another. And I feel like that's a good message to send. And it's definitely one of the better channels that I've seen on YouTube, especially recently now that we've seen these hype bloggers that that just want to do crap on YouTube and just show bad things And I feel like this is a different light and it's a different thing, and I feel like people should at least look into it, and then maybe if they like it, maybe subscribe.
I like that you brought that up. Well, with both of those things, because I mean, I feel like there is an oversaturation of bloggers on YouTube right now. Yeah. Everybody's doing vlogging. I mean, if that's what works for y'all, if y'all like vlogging, then by all means, I'm just saying it's cool. An observation. It's an observation I'm seeing is that most of the channels are doing vlogging.
It's cool as long as you're careful with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Send a message and make sure that message is good. It's kindness. It's something that people can look up to. Like if their parents walk in on them watching that, they'll say, "Wow, that's pretty cool." Not like,
that's why
that's really inappropriate.
That's why this brand doesn't really, keep it kind of PG in here, because I don't think a lot of kids are listening to podcasts. I think kids are more into to YouTube.
I feel like the podcast demographic is mostly like 18 plus.
Yeah.
I feel like it's for people that
and also
want to commute on their cars or on a jog or something to listen to a podcast. I definitely that's what happened to me. And even though like podcasts have been around for a while, I feel like I more relate to podcasts now just because I mean it's just preferences. I feel like the older you get, the more you just want to see.
Yeah. So that's why I mean I recently, the last episode, the Babel review, that's the only one that I made explicit. Because we talked about certain scenes where there was nudity and stuff like that I had to make explicit. But in general, like, I never tell Brad, like, you want to tone it down on the cursing, or you guys. Because I feel like there's not much kids that are listening to us.
No.
And, I do think about it, like, what if there's, like, a 12 or 11-year-old who likes movies like us and he's listening to our podcast, or she's listening to our podcast. But either way, it's like, we are talking about movies. Of course, like the blockbusters we watch, like those are for the kids and stuff too. But I feel like in general, the movies we talk about that are like outside of blockbusters are very adult oriented movies that I wouldn't expect a child to go see. Like, I don't expect a child to see Babel. I don't expect to see a child see Babel. And so, like, I wanted to bring that up too, because we were talking about like how as humans, like, there's no really a stranger to us as humans, and that really correlates with what we just reviewed with Babel, because the overview of Babel is how humans suffer in the same way. It doesn't matter what culture we are, we have something going through with us, and that's really what makes us human, is that we all suffer this way, and we're all going through something. And no matter languages, there's only one border in our world, and it's the border inside our hearts that make us separate people. So, I thought that was cool. And that's a pretty cool channel. I really don't watch much YouTube.
I don't either. It's just that I just randomly came across it, and it just inspired me to just want to do better, want to improve my life, and like I said last time, with Gary Vee, the post he shared on Instagram where it said we have a little group chat in the Instagram, and he shared one from Gary Vee, and it just essentially said, is that whose permission are you waiting for? To do things in life. Like, who are you waiting for? You're gonna die. Why are you waiting? There is no guarantee for tomorrow, but today is for sure. So do something today. Yeah,
I can't even say that life is guaranteed. Life isn't guaranteed. The only thing we're guaranteed, and it's gonna sound really morbid, but the only thing that's guaranteed is death. Death is the most guaranteed thing.
That's the only constant in our life.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't mean that to be morbid or depress you guys, but it's true. Like,
it's just to motivate you to do whatever it is you were gonna do. Go back to school. Talk to that girl. Build that relationship with your parents again, or whatever it is that you're afraid to do. Don't let fear get in the way of happiness. Yeah, and I feel like that's a message people should keep within themselves. Like, it's just.
And it's always what Brad and I, when we're like, if you're thinking about starting a podcast, just start it. Really, just start it. I mean, Anchor makes it so easy. Anchor makes it so easy. You can literally record from your phone. We're at the most accessible time we've ever been, and so like I'm glad you brought up that YouTube channel. I'll probably check it out. I mean, I don't really watch much YouTube, like I'm telling you, and I know that you don't either. We definitely shift more to podcasts. And either way, the YouTube channels I watched, all their programs are in podcast form, so they're on iTunes. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm literally just gonna just listen to them on podcasts. So we went to go see the Equalizer 2. It's the most recent movie by that stars Denzel Washington. It's weird. he said it's not really a sequel to the first Equalizer. It's just a different story, but it does carry things. It carries the weight from the first movie. So like his wife being dead and his child too,
and his habits, like his OCD habit of carrying that packet of tea,
or organizing the apples too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it keeps the theme of it, but it doesn't necessarily.
It's just a different story.
The first one to
understand this one. Yeah. Because I feel like they kind of like, even if you didn't know the Equalizer, the first one, I feel like they put the notion that he did lose his wife and his kids. So before we actually talk more about this, I do want to put the spoiler up there. Spoiler, if you have not watched the Equalizer 2, do not listen to this podcast after this. We really do appreciate the listen, but I'd rather not be the one who ruins the movie for you. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and talk about Equalizer 2 in 3, 2, 1. All right, so Equalizer came out this summer.
Yes.
It was one that I was looking forward to, and I was super surprised when it made its box office hit in that first weekend. It was actually a really good opening for it. And we were like, no, dude, I mean, that's the power of Denzel. Like, come on.
Anything that Denzel's in, it's bound to make money, and especially like an action film, John Wick type of style. I guess you can compare it to those movies, John Wick movies, but just slower. Yeah,
it's just a lot slower, a lot more serious.
It's a great movie, though.
It's really good. I really liked it.
Super good.
I have like a little minor complaints, like I just think that it's a little bit too slow.
You think so?
Yeah, a little bit too
I like
slow.
The pace of it. I didn't feel bored throughout the movie, and I feel like that suffers a lot through some action movies.
Yeah.
But not this one. I felt like it was a good pace. It gave us enough, and then just pulled us back in, and then
it was just there in the middle where I was kind of getting lost already. It was like, yeah, you know what, like. I didn't expect this to be like a 2 hour 9 movie. 2 hour 9 minutes movie.
Was it?
Yeah, 2 hours and 9 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. But
the
last act, I mean, just him looking, trying to find these men to kill him. It was like that. That really felt like, I think that needed to be as short as it was. As long as it was, because it's just him planning along that time, just to know how to kill him exactly, so that way the sniper doesn't kill him.
But like, did you like? I noticed it from the beginning. Who the bad guy was.
Oh yeah.
Who was gonna be the bad guy? Like there was no question for me. It was just so obvious, dude, and I didn't like that. It was so obvious. Like you can tell
the minute
that guy is the one that's gonna do it.
The minute I saw him not go with her to the room.
The floor 16, yeah.
Yeah. I said this guy is the one who ordered these to kill him. So the last movie, basically Denzel loses his wife and kids. He's part of this secret branch in the government where train him to kill these people. Right. And now there's a conspiracy in that branch because they've gone private. So some people need to be eliminated, and that was one of his best friend who gets killed. So that's why he has to go and kill these men and kind of like bury the past with him, because that's the only way he's gonna move on. And I feel like at the end we really do see that Denzel has kind of moved on already,
right?
Because he was able to go back home.
But here's the thing. I don't know if you can explain to me or not, but why did Denzel and the other girl have to be killed off? Just because they went private? I don't understand.
No, they went private. The bad guys went private.
Well, what's the reasoning for wanting to kill Denzel and those other two characters? Why?
Because
they never explained it in the actual movie.
Yeah, because I think they still had ties to what they were once in, so they kind of had to cover all that stuff up.
But they were living their own lives though. Like what? Why did they have to kill them off? Like I guess like that was a little
plot hole.
Plot hole.
Yeah, it was kind of a plot
they
hole.
never really explained why. Was it revenge or because he said don't take it personally, but it's like okay, but so then why are you doing it? Like why are you killing all these people?
I really don't know how to answer that. I think it is kind of like a plot hole. We never got a reason why Susan was actually killed. But yeah, I mean, other way, like little minor inconsistencies there. Like it was really fun. It really had me glued the whole time. Like, even though I do say that the middle is kind of slowish, at times I wasn't like, okay, when is this gonna end?
But what I really liked was towards the last scenes where it was like the fighting, where the guys were trying to find Denzel. Yeah, and they used so much rain. Like it was an environment where it was a bunch of wind.
Hurricane.
Yeah, there was a hurricane. And I want to know how they managed to pull that out because it was so realistic, dude. Yeah. Because if you've ever been outside, like on a hurricane, like, you know, because we've had hurricanes here in
Yeah.
rough winds and everything. And if you've ever been outside, you know it's really dangerous. I want to know how they did that. Like, was it
probably
a
rain
set?
machine. I'm
Was
telling
it-
you, rain machine on the set.
I know, but it was so realistic, dude.
I know. Well,
It
I mean,
was
that's the
so
magic of
realistic.
movie making. That's the magic of movie making.
I don't know, man. That was a good. I was definitely impressed with that, and I can tell that was most of the budget for the movie. That scene.
Yeah. I really like that scene. I like that whole last act when they were just trying to kill him. And then he's just kind of smarting them. Because, I mean, you realize that Denzel, he's a trained killer, but he also plans this shit out. And it's not like these guys that just went over there and, you know, they use their military tactics. But I feel like Denzel's on another level. Like, Denzel plans this, and he kind of takes it to another level because, you know, the first guy, he kills him by puncturing him. He tripwired something, and it literally, like, if it would have been just the military tactic of Denzel in that movie, he would have just gone in there and just, like, grabbed him and then boom, right there in the, kind of like what Wick does. Wick doesn't plan it.
Hand-to-hand combat. Yeah.
With Wick, it's hand-to-hand, and he'll just, like, if he's on the floor, Wick will just go straight to the head and just kill him off. And I really liked it. I really liked Equalizer for that because it shows a different side to the whole contract killer stuff. But it was good. It was good. It was good to me.
Yeah, good movie. Definitely not a movie to watch with your kids, but
Yeah.
pretty good movie anyways. Like for a little date night.
Yeah. I also liked his little one-liners, like who are you? Oh, I'm your father. Your mama just didn't tell you. And that was great. That was freaking awesome.
Funny, dude.
It was Denzel.
Funny.
It was Denzel. It was just Denzel being Denzel, and I was like, oh man, I love that. It's like, who are you? Oh, I'm your father. Your mama just didn't tell you. It's
That was a good scene. That was pretty good.
or the better leave me a 5-star rating. He goes, and then he
the
goes
beginning,
outside.
right?
Yeah, goes
Dude.
outside, gives him a 5-star rating.
You know what, dude? I don't like revenge, bro. But when they did that towards those guys that did that to that girl,
Yeah.
man, I was so happy. I was like, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Kick his ass, Denzel.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, no, I loved it, dude. I really loved it. That scene was really cool because I mean, like, you could tell the girl was raped when she went in. Like, she was crying.
She had
Her
beating, like,
she had her face beaten. Her clothes were kind of ripped up. So, like, you know, they did something to her. So Denzel didn't just leave her in there and he's like, I'm gonna go over there and kick their ass. And he's like, let me take her to the hospital. Let me come back and then kick their ass.
and then he kicked all their asses and still told them to give him a 5-star rating.
5-star
on the
rating.
lift ride.
And he got the 5-star rating.
Cool, dude.
And he got the 5-star rating.
Is that Google Chrome?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's the Google
Home?
Play. Yeah, it's the Google Home. Yeah. But it was awesome. Rudy, how are we doing on time?
Pretty good.
Okay, no. Where does it fall in your favorite Denzel movies? We can do 25. It doesn't matter.
Favorite Denzel movies?
Yeah. I know which one mine is. It's so easy for me to tell you which one mine is, but I want to hear yours.
What is it? Well, it's because
Mine? American Gangster. With Man on Fire coming in second.
What about Fences? You don't even remember Fences.
That's true. Fences.
I know.
I love Fences. I love Fences, but when I'm thinking Denzel, I think those.
Denzel movies?
When I think Denzel, I think those gritty, very like actiony movies that he does.
What's that movie where Denzel Washington is playing this like crooked cop? And
It's Man on Fire.
No. Crooked cop and like I don't think that's the name of it.
Oh,
And he's like
Training Day.
Training Day, dude. That movie.
I
was
freaking love Training Day.
When he does like this whole I'm King Kong ain't got beep on me, but something like that. I don't know what it says. Something about it.
It's his first movie. It's
Was it?
one of his first. Yeah, Training
I
Day.
think that's one of his best.
Yeah, I love Training Day, but I like American Gangster more, dude. It's just really, really good.
No, I think for me it's gonna be Training Day, and in this movie, I don't know.
Yeah,
I like this. I like the
I like the
Equalizer
first.
1.
I like Equalizer 1 a lot.
Okay, let's just first start off like this. Do you like the first one or the second one better?
I like the first one better.
Yeah, it's the first one for sure.
Yeah.
Even though there's more, it's a higher budget. And
Yeah. But
I'm gonna say first.
I know, but I like the way this one looks a lot. I like how it plays out. I like that he develops another like father-son relationship with Miles. I think that was great, and it kind of builds on the stuff that you wanted to see more of in number one. And but I still, but I
girl, right?
yeah, but I think number one is just, I just like it a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was something different. Like we hadn't seen that before.
Yeah.
And now it's just like Denzel.
Yeah.
Again.
But it's like, I doesn't go to my top 10 in Denzel, but
top 10
because it's really hard.
I can't even name 5 top 10 top.
What?
Because he's made so many movies, I really can't name them all. Like
Here, look.
I can't even think of 10.
You can't think of 10, bro? I'm like,
No.
Man on Fire, American Gangster.
Okay, I've seen that one. Seen that one.
Fences,
Seen that
Training
one.
Day.
Seen that one. What else?
Wow, crap. No,
See, you can't even think about it.
Equalizer 1, Equalizer 2.
What other movies? I legit can't think of it.
Dude, and look, when I read them off, they're gonna come to my head.
Okay.
They're gonna I'm like, oh wow, why didn't I know this one?
Denzel, boom, boom, boom.
But I mean, Denzel's it's like Idris Elba, dude. Like Denzel is Denzel. Like Idris Elba is Idris Elba.
Yeah, but you can't compare the both.
I like Idris a lot more.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Oh,
no, bro, he hasn't gotten to that level yet. No,
I like.
You can't even compare both of them, dude.
Yeah, no,
you can't.
I like Idris a lot more.
No, man, I'm not a. I don't think you can put them in the same category. Not even close.
All right, hold up. Okay.
Name me some.
Wow, Flight, Fences, Flight. Man on Fire, American Gangster, Equalizer 1, Equalizer 2.
Yeah.
Training Day. Roman J. Esquire, Book of Eli.
Okay. No.
Inside Man, Safe House, Out of Time.
Yeah.
I've watched most of these, damn. Magnificent Seven, John Q, Remember the Titans?
Magnificent Seven, dude, that movie. No,
Remember the Titans? Unstoppable, The Hurricane, Fallen, Malcolm X.
He played Malcolm X?
Yeah, in that Spike Lee movie. Glory, the one about the Civil War that we watched like in 8th grade. Deja Vu. You never watched Deja Vu?
Deja Vu.
Damn, bro. Deja Vu's really good, dude.
I don't know, man. I've seen a bunch of movies, but I mean...
Crimson Tide.
I don't think I've seen that one. What? Hold on.
The Great Debaters. You ever watch Great Debaters?
I don't know, man. Like, maybe if you show me, like, the movie poster, I might be able to tell you if I have or not.
Yeah, I mean, Great Debaters, we saw it in speech class in, like, 9th grade, bro.
The Freedom Riders?
No, not Freedom Riders. That was English, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's most of them. The one that really sticks out to me that I can't believe I forgot that it was a Denzel movie was, what's it called? Deja Vu, but... Because I remember Deja Vu vividly, bro. Like, Deja Vu was really good, dude.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. But my favorite is either American Gangster, Fences, or Man on Fire.
Why is that Training Day?
Yeah.
We watched it and it looks
And Fences is just beautiful, dude. Fences is
great. It's
I
just
can't.
acting. That's what it is. It's just like if you were to go to
a theater,
right, in Broadway or something, you need to watch one continuous, no stopping. It was just one continuous dialogue. Yeah. Then you watch Fences.
Yeah. I can't believe he lost that one to Casey Affleck.
That's kind of BS, man. But you know why he won, right? Casey won.
Yeah, because it was about time that he got. Because Ben.
No, it was because. Well, yes, because it was about time, and also, like that they wanted a smaller production company like Amazon to win. Yeah. And it was a big win for Amazon to make a, that they can.
I'm just glad that Viola Davis won that year for Fences. Because if Viola wouldn't have won, I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Like.
But then again, the Oscars, the Academy, it all sucks. They aren't representative of good movies.
Yeah. It's just a good time just to watch what wins and like.
Some of these movies, like you don't even hear about them, like in the theaters. Like you will, but like nobody will go to them. Yeah. And those are the ones that get nominated, but you don't see like I don't know, like an Avengers movie or any of these. Big we just had this conversation with the whole Academy putting a new category for popular film. Like, what constitutes popular film? Is it just your way of saying like, well, those damn comic book movies? It's about time they get nominated, right? Well, I'm not gonna nominate them for Best Picture. Might as well put them in this new category just to be a cop out. Some of them, dude. Like, they do deserve the recognition.
We're gonna go back to the same thing, Luis. Logan last year deserved a nomination.
Exactly.
Logan deserved it.
Because it's BS. Because it's run.
Dark Knight, all those other movies.
Because it's run by these old people that like
don't understand movies nowadays. Like it's like they don't understand
on the past, and they say everything that follows the old
format.
Then those are the winners.
Yeah.
So that's BS.
Yeah, and I mean we already had this conversation on the podcast with the whole camera, and it's bullshit, you know. Like, but I'm glad that Denzel can put out these great movies, and he still gets his due diligence with getting these nominations. But he should have beat Casey. He was way
in terms of performance.
Yeah, for sure. And I love Manchester by the Sea. I think
that's a good movie.
Like
it's not the same.
As Fences though. Fences. No. I think Fences was my favorite movie that year, 2016.
Did you go see Fences with me?
No, I watched.
I watched it at the movie theater.
No, I think we did go watch it together.
Right? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We did. We watched it together. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I did watch that one. We did watch that one together. And then I bought it on Blu-ray when it came out, and I kept talking about it. I'm like, wow, this movie is so good. And it sucks because I mean that's just the way it is with Denzel. You know, like his really good movies will get overlooked, and I feel like this one's gonna get overlooked a lot too, just because it's a sequel to one of his movies, but it's also
an action film.
An action film. Yeah.
It won't pick up that.
I really do hope people go watch it though. I think it's honestly a good time at the movie.
We should be wrapping it up, but we should be giving our final
thoughts in the review. Final thoughts and a verdict.
So can we start off with what you review it out of?
10?
5.
Out of 5?
Yeah,
out of 5 stars.
Make it hard.
All right.
There's no halves. You can't do like 3.5 stars.
Oh, wow. Come on, dude.
You either go to 4, 5, 3, 2, or 1.
Oh, wow. So I think that this movie does a lot of things right. The middle is a little bit too slow for me. There is plot holes. And just sometimes I feel like there are just some scenes that don't make sense to the whole arc of it. You know, like they just could have been executed a lot more differently than I think. It was just that, and I mean, like the length was a little bit too long. I think you could have done the same thing in 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe you would have cut off some of the scenes where she was, instead of rescuing the little girl, maybe just delete that.
Because
the other part. And where he helps the girl that just got raped. Maybe keep one of them and not the other.
Yeah, because I mean, the mom doesn't know that that's who helped her.
And she never found out.
Yeah, and it was just like, you just went to go pick up the book and you just saw the kid and the kid was like, yeah, hello. It's like, like those scenes were kind of like, oh, like kind of why'd you have that in there? Like it's just wasting time. So I want to say like you're not letting me do halves here. So
no halves, only whole numbers.
3 stars out of 5.
3. Yeah, man. I think the exact same for me.
Yeah,
3
I liked it.
Yeah, it's good, enjoyable.
It's enjoyable. That's something that I want to go watch again. But I did enjoy it for the time that we went to go see it.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5?
3 out of 5.
Yeah, for you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Well, Rudy, how much time are we on? 26? All right, cool. So, thank you for listening to this episode of Nerd Chicano show. Remember, guys, to go to www.patreon.com/thenerdcorpse. Look at a tier that you like. And just, if it's $1 a month or if it's $50 a month, we support anything that you guys do. And we really do want to say thanks to the patrons that we have at the moment. You guys really do keep the show afloat. And I'm really glad that you guys are here for this momentous journey that we're doing with this podcast. And this brand in general.
Yeah, man. Good job to everyone.
Yeah. So go follow us on Twitter at the @NerdCorpse_ and Instagram at the @NerdCorpse. Go ahead and leave a rate and a review for this podcast. It really helps us find out any feedback that you can give us. And we're almost there at 10 reviews, so it'd be really nice. We have 7 at the moment, so whatever can help us, it helps us. You can go find me on Twitter at the @the Nerdy Chicano, and on Instagram as well as the Nerdy Chicano.
I pulled up mine.
Finally, I don't have to say it, right?
Yeah. Well, you might need to say my Twitter one, but my Instagram one is it's Luisito Garcia 7. So it's Luis and then ITO and then Garcia then 7, and you can find me on there.
Find him on Twitter at Luis_Garcia77.
Okay,
yeah.
I know the other one.
Come on, man. Thank you for listening so much. I'm going to go ahead and send you guys off. We'll see you next week. We don't know what we're going to do with next week's episode, but it's going to be recording in advance, that's for sure, because I'm moving in next week. But that means episodes from now on next week will have better Wi-Fi, so no more Megatron noises. So thank you for listening. Viva Mexico. Viva Latinoamérica.
Viva la raza.
Viva la raza. Guys, have a good night. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you later. Press the space bar, Rudy. Ciao. Did you do it? Just press space bar.